Oh, hello. Welcome to Crazy Games. We're back in Genshin Impact, and we're going
Welcome
to
home,
continue
almighty
the
Shogun.
shenanigans within this Irodori Festival. The Hues of the Violet Garden. I will be continuing the story quest. But in my last video, I said I was gonna talk to this Guji cosplaying lady and see if like her ears were real or if she's actually just cosplaying as Lady Gucci or Yai Miko. But yeah, it seems like she's just like a human with human ears. If I can just zoom in, get the camera close to her ear here.
Welcome home, almighty Shogun.
You can kind of see yeah, she keeps saying "Welcome home, Almighty Shogun," just like apparently the character in the light novel says that. Yeah, you can see her ears, so she's just cosplaying. She's a cosplayer. Let's talk to her to see what she says. Welcome back, Almighty Shogun. Um, Almighty Shogun? Ah, don't worry about it too much. This is just something they say in the novel. I mean, Pretty Please Kitsune Guji is the tale of a loser shogun and a Kitsune Guji who can do it all. You know, I did ask Lady Yai if publishing such a novel was alright, but Lady Yai said, just don't worry, but Lady Yai just said, don't worry about it, as long as it sells, it's all good. And in fact, this book actually sold pretty well. But every time I look at this text, I can only think, our shogun truly is a forgiving soul. I guess, Yai Miko just like, she just like makes fun of Raiden Shogun in that book constantly. What else does she say? What's with those ears? Oh, they're just props. As is the Shrine Maiden costume that I'm wearing, so she's not even a priestess anyway. I wonder if there's a difference between this Shrine Maiden costume and like the actual Shrine Maiden costume we see at the Narukami Shrine. Actually, I'm just a part-time employee at Yai Publishing House, and my job this time is to act as one of the characters in the light novel to advertise a collaborative drink. So they're having like a collaborative drink with this drink store, I guess. This restaurant? No. What would you call it? Like a cafe? I don't know what you call a stand that exclusively sells drinks. Welcome back, Almighty Shogun. About the event exclusive drink. Oh, you mean Rainbow Aster? In the novel, this is the drink that the Kitsune Guji made for the main character, the Shogun. When the latter was ill. She took care of the Shogun when she was ill? It has the most refreshing taste owing to the addition of mint, as well as calla lilies from Mondstadt. After drinking it, the main character realizes that the Kitsune Guji was not angry, but was instead being supportive all this time, and so becomes able to overcome a crisis. After the novel came out, Yai Publishing House has received a constant stream of letters from readers expressing interest in having such a drink. As such, we've used the occasion of the Irodori Festival to develop this drink alongside Sailing Breeze. Alright, anyways, let's actually do the story. What does Blue Flowers Left Behind? True Tales of the Violet Garden Act 2. Go to Rito Docks. It is time for the ships to arrive. Head for the Rito Docks. Yeah, so that was a little aside that I wanted to capture, since I said I was gonna do it in the Klee story, but I didn't. Anyways, I guess this is kind of the perfect spot to edit in the other missed dialogue that I had recorded in the past, so there'll be a quick cut. But yeah, let's do this one. True Tales of the Violet Garden. Act 2. What the Blue Flowers Left Behind. Xingqiu, the author of The Legend of Sword, is about to arrive in Inazuma. Should you conceal the previous loss of the books from him? Question mark? Head to Rito Docks according to the arrival schedule. The guest should arrive at 10 a.m. the next day. Okay. There we go. Doodle-doodle-doo.
The passenger ship from Leyla that we're supposed to meet should be arriving soon. Let's go to the docks. You know that Xingqiu will be on board, right? So we should be careful not to say anything about the stolen novels.
Why not? I think he would be glad to help us if he knew about it. I mean, like hiding from him isn't gonna make it better. In fact, if he finds out on his own, it might make things worse because we weren't the ones who tell him, right? All right, who's coming next? All right. I do feel a little awkward having that.
Hi there! You must be visiting from Liyue to participate in the Irodori Festival. We'll be your guides, and we'll take you onto the island.
I do feel a little bit awkward now that I don't feel like I set up that pretty well, the whole, like, thing. And also having that cosplayer at the beginning there felt a little, oh, well, this is how things normally go, whatever. We'll just go with the flow.
Huh? Is it Paimon, or have we met somewhere before?
Isn't that, the guy with the stone guy? I don't know. Actually, no, that's Aztaha. Maybe we haven't seen this guy before.
Yes, in fact we have. I'm Xu from Feiyun Commerce Guild. Aboard this ship we have calligraphers, painters, and even players of Theater Mechanicus.
Oh, I don't think... Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I've ever talked to this guy. Maybe in the Xingqiu quest we talked to this guy a long time ago. I don't recognize any of these people.
The inventor of Theater Mechanicus previously came to the Feiyun Commerce Guild seeking investment. Although the guild manager was not interested, the master still wanted to support them. We heard that they'd be demonstrating the game and letting people try Theater Mechanicus at the Irodori Festival. So the guild manager instructed Master and I to take the opportunity to come to Inazuma and investigate the product's potential.
Weird. We've had Theater Mechanic... Wait, is Theater Mechanicus the, like, tower defense game? I'm pretty sure we have had that in Inazuma before, so it's kind of weird that, lore-wise, they're trying to introduce it now. Because, I don't know, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have had Theater Mechanicus once in Liyue, and then the second time when it returned, it was in Inazuma City. Anyways, let's continue.
Oh, speaking of which, where's the young master?
Where's Xingqiu?
Master, he's,
Is he seasick? He wouldn't be seasick. He's a hydro user.
Whoa! Xingqiu's just sitting there, sound asleep.
What? Oh. It's the Traveler and Paimon. I presume you are guests in Inazuma as well? It seems fate has destined our paths to cross once again.
Once again.
Oh, we aren't actually guests. We're actually guides for the Irodori Festival.
You seem a little down. How are you doing?
Please, no need to worry. I was a little too caught up in a novel on the voyage here. When I finally realized what time it was, the first rays of dawn were already peeking over the horizon.
In the last story, we found out that the books that Xingqiu wrote, the Legend of the Sword, like someone stole it or something. And for whatever reason, I had it in my head. I guess I had a night to sleep on it, to think about the story. And I thought maybe Xingqiu did it himself because he didn't want to, like, actually join the signing. Like, having to sit there and sign books or something like that. So he kind of, like, stole it himself. So he doesn't have to do it. But I guess, I don't know. That just doesn't make sense if you really think about it. Since, like, he came all this way to do it anyways. If he didn't want to sign any books, he would have just turned down the invitation altogether, right?
Yes. Now that we've arrived, the Kanjo Commission will likely wish to inspect our invitation letter. Let's keep it in hand, shall we?
Okay. Where is it?
Huh? That's odd.
What's wrong?
There was a piece of paper underneath my bag. Strange. I don't recall seeing it there before.
Oh, so someone is leaving these pages about the Kaisen specifically for us to find, it seems like. It's not just like coincidentally, we didn't come across them coincidentally.
Ooh, let Paimon have a look.
The 5 Kaisen Splendor, Ao no Okina. Isn't Okina mean like big or something like that? Like Blue the Big? Big Blue. Glorious court life was my youth, and my old age a moonlight haze. I had not wished to behave so treacherously, but my very little life was threatened. Wait, what? But my very life, I know I had little in there, but my very life was threatened, so I sought out my old work and hid them in my clothes. I do not understand the reasons behind all that has happened, only that the mysterious person's motive must be perverse. This poem was dedicated to Akihito, who is my great sorrow, who to my great sorrow was banished. Ooh. So, I was like thinking about who each person could be, and it turns out the green person is going to be Venti, or like at least how Albedo is going to depict these people. So I was guessing, or we found out that the green person's Venti. I was guessing that the blue person's going to be Xingqiu. The red person, I was trying to think like, it can't be Diluc. Diluc isn't really in the story right now, and if anything, he's like more black themed than red. And the only other red swordsman, I guess, because the red is supposed to be a swordsman, blue is supposed to be like some, I don't know, poet person, right? I guess they're all poets, but he's like some scholar. And green is supposed to be some like drunkard, some alcoholic. But red is supposed to be some swordsman. So I was thinking, it can't be Bennett either, since he's a swordsman, but I don't think it's him either. And the only other person I would think of that's like a swordsman is Kazuha. But I don't know if he's going to be in this story. I haven't heard anything about him at this point. And I guess he's also not red, but he is like a stereotypical like swordsman. And if you really think about it, he's kind of themed as like the Canadian samurai, and with all the red maple leaf, and that has a lot of red motifs. So I was thinking, out of the three, Diluc, Bennett, and Kazuha, I feel like Kazuha is the closest, so maybe he'll be in the story at some point. And then the white is supposed to be a lady, and the only two like white themed ladies I know is Shenhe and Ayaka, and I think it's gonna be Ayaka since Shenhe already had her spot in the story. And I don't think she's gonna be here. It'll be cool if she's here, actually, to see like the damsel of devastation come experience like Inazuma stories. But then I don't think Shenhe dances or sings, and apparently the white lady, the white themed lady, she's supposed to be like a really good dancer and a really good singer. And in the past, we've seen Ayaka both sing and dance for us. And I don't know, any other like ice person like Ganyu, Chi-Chi, I guess. I don't think like neither of those kind of fit that description either. And then there's supposed to be like the mysterious black person, which I don't know. There's not enough information to really go off of. I was thinking maybe it's going to be a self-portrait for Albedo maybe at that point. That at least that's what I'm guessing. It's I'm kind of like putting my thoughts out there so that when the time comes, I can be like, aha, I got it right, or oh gosh darn, I got it wrong, kind of thing. I guess we'll see.
There's no doubt about it. It's from the same series as the story we found before. Even the handwriting looks exactly the same.
Oh, what?
The story you found before?
Oh yeah, in the warehouse down by the...
We're not supposed to let him know that the Legend of Sword has been stolen. I don't know. I still feel like maybe we should let him know so that he knows. At least he can start making plans too and make decisions whether he wants to help us or not, or if he just, or if he doesn't care, or does, and if he does care, maybe he can help us, kind of thing.
by the poem hunt competition.
Look at Lumine's face.
Yeah, that's it. A friend of ours is on Rito to paint portraits of the 5 Kasen. You know, as part of the Irodori Festival. Poetic stories about the 5 Kasen have been hidden in various places nearby.
I don't know if Xingqiu has ever met Albedo. I don't know, I get a little giddy whenever the story starts like mix and matching characters, and for the most part, Mondstadt characters have only been interacting with Mondstadt characters, Li Yue with Li Yue characters, Inazuma with Inazuman characters. So like, and it's really rare to see like them cross-pollinate, like Noelle's friendship hangout event had her come to Ligia, which is really cool. And like every time they do this now, I get like super giddy, like, oh my goodness, they're gonna try mixing all these different cultures and these different characters. How are they gonna like interact, like what kind of like shenanigans are gonna come out of it. I don't know why, but I really enjoy that about this story for some reason.
If you can find one of the stories and give it to this friend of ours, then there's a chance you'll become the model for the next portrait.
What?
Wait a moment. So you mean that...
Oh, he's onto us. Paimon, you're terrible at making up stories.
Hey, it's hard coming up with stuff on the spot like that.
There's a chance of meeting Calx in person?
Oh yeah.
Huh? Oh, yeah. You could say that.
Really? That's wonderful! I knew that Calx would attend the Irodori Festival, but convincing my father to let me come to Inazuma was proving to be quite the high hurdle. I had to really rack my mind to come up with the excuse of evaluating the investment value of Theater Mechanicus. Just a few days later, word then came that Calx would be busy painting portraits of the 5 Kasen during the festival. It is a most rare opportunity for both Calx and I to be in Inazuma together, but it seemed he would be too busy with the portraits to meet with me. So, I felt quite disappointed for some time now.
Don't worry, Xingqiu. Even though Calx has work to do, he still has time to see friends. We can take you to see him right now. Also, we heard that Calx did illustrations for your A Legend of Sword novel.
Ah, so you've already heard. To be honest, my works have drawn little interest in Liyue. However, the novels are selling quite well in Inazuma with the help of Calx's beautiful illustrations. Calx is not only a skilled artist, but he also carries out his craft with great alacrity. I heard that it took him merely a few hours to finish the illustrations for the latest chapter. But when I looked at the art, the brushwork did not even look the slightest bit rushed. His work is truly exquisite.
It's because there's 2 of them, so he can do things twice as fast.
Oh my, I was beginning to get carried away there. Let us depart, quickly now.
Actually, we know of only 2 of them. There could be more. And once again, we just hang out with Xingqiu and the rest of them can do whatever.
Luckily, the idea of meeting Albedo managed to draw Xingqiu's attention and keep the situation under wraps. Let's just hope we don't let anything slip while meeting Albedo.
What the blue flowers left behind. Started. Meet Albedo at the 5 Kasen Plaza. Sheet of paper Xingqiu found beneath his luggage. Oh, I got a bunch of books. Do I want to read these? Maybe not. Maybe that's not a good idea. Like, these stories, I'm expecting it gonna be super long anyway, so maybe it's not a good idea to reread them. Give me them melons. So yeah, seeing like Yoimiya hang out with Klee was really awesome. I think like the next pairing I would like to see would be like Shinhe and Eula, since they're both Cryo. And they're both kind of sort of have like the same mannerisms and stuff. It'll be funny to see them. Maybe even see them fight each other. Anyways, let's see what Albedo has to say here.
Traveler, Paimon, how are you? And who is this accompanying you?
You must be Calx. It's a great pleasure to finally meet you. I am the author of A Legend of Sword, forgive me. It's rude of me to introduce myself by my pen name when meeting in person. Please, call me Xingqiu.
Xingqiu.
And you may call me Albedo, then.
Oh, they're best friends already.
No, that would be most improper.
I think someone did a comparison with Albedo and Xingqiu's like normal attack chain, and apparently they're really similar, as if like Albedo has learned his swordsmanship, like his Favonius blade work, and like combined it with like some Guhua stuff or something like that, as if like suggesting maybe Albedo might have learned Guhua swordsmanship in his I don't know, his past. I don't know. Or maybe just by like reading Xingqiu's work, he's kind of picked up on some Guhua stuff. I don't know.
Why not? Seeing as we're both friends of the Traveler, it'd be more convenient for us to use our real names.
this is a thing that I kind of like wonder once in a while. Like, you know how there's like all these YouTubers and all the YouTubers have like their different names and stuff. When they meet up in person, do they call each other by their YouTuber name or by their real names? I guess that's like, I don't know. It's like a little bit awkward. You know someone as one name, but then and you kind of get used to calling them by that name, and then you're kind of forced to call them by a different name and get used to that. That must be like weird. Luckily, I haven't had to come across that at all. I guess I've never really revealed my real name in this channel either, so if I do ever get a following, everyone will know me as like Crazy or Crazy E. And I guess the story behind Crazy E, the name, is because when I was in middle school, I guess, or junior high, as we say here in Canada, I was really into Star Wars, and my name starts with the letter E. I guess my real name, and also like I was really into Ewoks. I thought they were super adorable, and it was hilarious that they defeated the Empire with their like terrible technology. And I always thought I was a little bit silly and I was a little bit crazy, so I called myself Crazy Ewok throughout middle school and I guess a junior high and high school. And that name kind of stuck because I kind of liked it, like a little crazy Ewok. I always find pretty funny of a concept. And I've been calling myself Crazy Ewok through all my handles, all my monikers, all my usernames for any games that I play. Like if you look at my very first video I posted on this channel, it's a Guild Wars 2 video of me playing through Ice Brood Saga. I think the third like episode or something of the Ice Brood Saga, and the character I use in that is called Crazy Ewok. So I kind of named myself that in every game that I play. But then when I started this channel, I thought maybe like using Ewok in my name might not be that good since it's like related to Star Wars, and that might, I don't know, make bad, like people might see the name Crazy Ewok and assume that I'm like a Star Wars channel or something about Star Wars, or maybe even like it doesn't really make sense to see like using a name from like a lot of like other YouTubers. They don't have like franchise names or stuff in their usernames that often, so they're always like really unique names. So I felt like maybe if I had Ewok in my channel name, it wouldn't make too much sense that in that aspect too. So I just made it Crazy E. But then recently, well, who's the one? It's Twitch streamer who voices Sayu. Her name is Lily Pichu or Lily Pichu, and that's kind of like the same vein of thought, I guess, to me, where it's just like if she's confident enough in her name as Lily Pichu, which literally has like a Pokemon's name in it, maybe I should be more confident with my like handles and my usernames and monikers and stuff, and just like straight up make it Crazy Ewok Games or something like that. I don't know, but then in the end, I feel like Crazy E Games kind of flows out of the mouth, or it comes out smoother. I don't know. It's like a weird thing that I think about, and it's really hard to like get good input on because it's just so personal. Anyways, I kind of went on a huge tangent there. Let's continue with the story.
Besides, we've already corresponded with each other many times before. In fact, I feel a bit self-conscious seeing you act so politely.
It's not just you, Albedo. We haven't seen Xingqiu act this awkward before either.
It's a real eye-opener, that's for sure. I learned some new tips on manners today.
You guys, it's certainly not good taste for you two to be teasing me like that. Oh, by the way, we happened to find a story from the poem hunt competition at the docks. I heard that you are collecting them.
Poem hunt?
Yes. Albedo, wink, 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 nudge, 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 nudge.
You know, that thing where we have to find pieces of paper with stories of the 5 Kasen? Venti found one, and then he was allowed to be a model for one of your portraits.
We're like name dropping so much people, but like Xingqiu probably doesn't know who Venti is.
Huh? Oh, yes, that's right.
You show Albedo the piece of paper found by
I
Xingqiu.
understand the story now. Thank you. It's very helpful.
Splendid. Though, I'm still piecing together the story myself. Would you kindly explain it to me in more detail?
If all of you are free, why don't we discuss this over a meal?
Sounds great.
Well, about that.
到Xingqiu.
Do you have other plans, Xingqiu?
No, not at all. Speaking of dining, Shimura's unagi chasuke is quite delicious. Would you like to go there?
Wait, how would you know that? I thought this place has been locked up for many years.
Shimura's. Unfortunately, today is a bit windy. How about Uyu Restaurant instead?
Uwu?
That's perfectly fine with me. But I must first unpack my luggage. Let's meet later at Uyu Restaurant.
Sounds good, Xingqiu. We'll see you there.
Something didn't quite add up just now.
Huh? No way! Paimon thinks we acted well together. Did we say something we weren't supposed to?
No, Paimon, I'm not referring to us. Traveler, what are your thoughts?
Xingqiu was a little suspicious.
Huh? Xingqiu's suspicious? Hey, what are you two talking about?
Paimon, you read the poem, right? Although it may seem confusing to Xingqiu on its own, what if we read it together with a previous poem we found?
Read them together? Let's see. Suiko lost Aoi no Okina's poem in a drunken stupor. So, Aoi no Okina recovered the poem and gave it to some mysterious person. Huh? Wait a minute. Could today's story be hinting that the one who stole the latest copies of A Legend of Sword is Xingqiu himself?
Wait, what? I was just like making fun of myself. Like, I thought that was not gonna be the case, but I thought because there's gonna be like signings and stuff or all this stuff that he didn't want to do it, so that's why he. But it wouldn't make sense because if he didn't want to do the signing, then he probably wouldn't come himself, right? Oh man, weird.
No way! That can't be right! Xingqiu only arrived in Inazuma this morning!
Or did he? Dun dun dun. That's why he already knew that Shimura had really good food, right?
And that is precisely the point of suspicion. If Xingqiu had only just arrived in Inazuma, how could he recommend Shimura's chasuke?
I swear I don't know the story, but I feel like maybe it's starting to come across that I might have like maybe spoiled myself on the story and then like pretending I didn't, but really I don't really know. I just like I guess had a really lucky guess this time around. That's what's happening.
Moreover, he didn't raise any questions when I suggested another place because of the windy weather. This means he knows that Shimura's is an open-air restaurant.
Oh my goodness, he's been here this entire time.
Are you saying that Xingqiu has already been in Inazuma for some time? And that he's only pretending he just arrived?
Yeah, he wasn't coming out of the boat. He was sitting by like some barrels by the dock.
Yes, that is indeed my conclusion.
Gosh darn it, Xingqiu.
But how could Xingqiu be the book thief? His mission is to fight for justice, isn't it? There's no way he'd do something against his own ideals.
Calm down, Paimon. Even though this is the first time I've met Xingqiu in person, we've communicated via letters for some time now. I do have some understanding of his character. I think there must be some deeper motive at play here. The story also tells us that Aoi no Okina flees with a poem because of a threat.
Oh, okay, what's happening?
Oh? Could Xingqiu be in danger?
It's difficult to say at this point. But given that Uyu Restaurant is indoors, it'll be easy for us to detect anyone following or eavesdropping on us. I think it should be safe for us to talk there. I'll be relying on your assistance to get to the bottom of this matter.
Got it.
Good. Then let's head to Uyu Restaurant.
Uwu? Uwu to Uyu Restaurant. Ring! Go to Uyu Restaurant. Okay. Yeah. I feel like... I don't know where I got the signing from. I feel like when I explored this area and there's all these booths, it reminds me of like going to an anime convention or a comic expo or something. That there's like all these people kind of like sitting here, like they're the artists or the authors or the creators of certain things, and there's all these lineups to get things signed and meet the creators and stuff. That's where I got that side of the theory I crafted in my head from. And that Xingqiu, I thought this might have been Xingqiu's booth, and that he doesn't want to sign things. But then it doesn't really fit. I don't know, it's just like me in the shower thinking and in like falling asleep thinking. So like when I now think about it, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. that was the case. But apparently that's where the story is going. It's suggesting that Xingqiu stole his own stuff, knowing like how to get there, where to get it, and having access to it, right? Because then Albedo said that only the someone familiar with the place could have reached it, especially if it's someone working there that had the key to the warehouse or something. Otherwise, Venti would have heard some rummaging and searching and stuff. But then it was like quick in and out. So yeah, let's go to Uyu Restaurant. I'm really liking there's a bunch of like kind of sort of layers to this story with the 5 Kaisen painting and Albedo. There's like mystery going on that is like kind of going in line with the poems that's being created, and then the pages we're finding, there's a mystery behind that of who's leaving that all over there. So someone knows what's going on and it's like trying to give us hints as to what to do. Like who can that be? Is that the Black Rider? Is it like Albedo this entire time that's just like taking us on a wild goose chase on a little bit of an adventure?
I don't see anyone suspicious around. It seems clear for the moment. Let's go inside and wait for Xingqiu.
The most suspicious person I see here is you, Albedo, since you're a sussy baka.
Oh, this whole thing's starting to make Paimon a little nervous. What do we do? And what do we talk about once Xingqiu gets here?
First, we must ascertain whether Xingqiu was already in Inazuma or not. If we can find evidence of him deceiving us, then we can use it as leverage to persuade him to tell us the truth. Since we're still waiting for him, why don't you go and chat with other guests in the restaurant and see if you can learn anything useful?
I think that's why the story kind of forced us to not reveal that his Legend of the Sword is missing to Xingqiu. Because it makes more sense for us to like tell him straight up, like, oh, we were missing your books and we're trying to figure out what's going on and see if we can get them back to him so that he can kind of make plans to deal with that one way or another. But then if we don't tell him, then we can have this whole like mystery detective trying to find out the truth section of this story. Because then if we just straight up told him just and see how he reacts to it, then the story would go in a completely different direction. If it turns out that he's the one who stole his own stuff. Alright, oh wait, do we talk to people around here? Oh no, enter Uyu Restaurant. I should have just read the objective. Ask around the store. Okazaki Rikuto. Okazaki Rikuto.
Hello there. What can I get for you?
Lots of food, please.
Hi, do you have any special recommendations today?
Why, of course. I'd personally recommend our freshly caught seafood. It's been pouring these past few days, so the fishing boats haven't been able to sail at all. But the weather finally cleared up today, so we have some fresh catch.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
So the weather at sea has been bad these past few days?
Interesting. What does this mean? How does this relate to Xingqiu being here or not? Or whether he was on the boat or not?
It sure has. A few guests from Liyue were just telling me that their boat was heaving and rolling all the way here. They couldn't do anything but sleep the entire trip.
Oh, but Xingqiu said he was reading a book the entire trip. Dun dun dun!
Oh, this might be some useful information.
This feels like a Phoenix Wright game right now, where we're gathering evidence before going to trial. To objection! Take that! Whenever someone like lies.
Welcome to Uyu Restaurant. restaurant. Please, talk to me if you want to order.
I'm guessing if I talk to Yuda, I talk to both of them.
The last phase of the Irodori Festival is when they release the all-new publications. The one I'm really looking forward to is A Legend of Sword.
That's right. A signed first edition is going to become quite the collectible. I've got to get my hands on a copy.
I've seen Genyu's signature before. His handwriting is super neat. He must be really diligent about his style.
He'll be there in person on the day of the release, so we'll get a good look at him then. I hear that he's actually pretty young.
He's Mada Wakai desu.
Wait a minute. Did you just hear that? Not only will Xingqiu be signing novels at the release, but his handwriting is super neat?
Wait, what? What is that? How is that significant? And how does that relate to whether he's lying or not about coming here early or not?
Welcome to Uyu Restaurant. Please, talk to me if you want to...
Have a seat. Let me know if you want anything. I think this is just regular dialogue. We gotta check up here. Oh, you too. What are you two doing up here all by yourself? Ooh, look at all this food. Very nice. We gotta talk to Albedo. Hey, Albedo.
Albedo, what should we talk about when Xingqiu gets here? Any ideas?
I will try to break the ice by talking about our work on novels and illustrations.
We'll question him.
If he really is hiding something, then he might feel even more nervous than we do. If we start by talking about our work creating novels, perhaps he will lower his guard.
And then we strike him with evidence.
Oh, come to think of it, Xingqiu mentioned that he'd like to thank you for finishing the illustrations on time. He said they looked amazing despite the time you had.
Is that so? That is also a very valuable clue.
Interesting. He's already seen the illustrations, even though I'm assuming Albedo does his illustrations at Mondstadt and sends them in, while Xingqiu does the story writing in Liyue and sends them in to Yai Publishing House. So, and Yai Publishing House is the one who puts it together. So if Xingqiu, the only way Xingqiu would have seen the illustrations is if Yai Publishing House sends him a copy, but from what we know, they were printed just in time for the Irodori Festival, so I don't think there would have been time to send Xingqiu like a copy, like a review copy, I don't know. And it might suggest that he's been here already and seen the product, the finished product by Yai Publishing House before anyone else.
Talk to me if you want to order.
Xingqiu arrives shortly after, and everyone enjoys a leisurely
that
meal.
was delicious.
Afterwards,
Inazuman cuisine largely consists of fresh seafood, which is certainly to my liking.
That's good. We were worried you might not have an appetite because you didn't sleep well. Now's our chance. Let's talk to Xingqiu and see if he says anything useful.
Paimon just starts talking like randomly to Lumine, and Xingqiu's like right there. He can hear everything.
Maybe we could start by asking him about the journey.
Talk about his thoughts regarding the journey. Talk about the book he read during the voyage. Talk about the scenery of the journey. Talk about the book he read.
By the way, Xingqiu, what book were you reading on the way here?
Oh, I was reading a novel called Pretty Please Kitsune Guji. It was sent to me by my editor.
Objection! If you were on the boat you were supposed to be on, it was apparently storming and nobody can do anything but sleep. So you're lying. Got him. But I'm guessing if he came here on an earlier boat that we know of, which was on a better, sunnier day, he was able to read the Pretty Please Kitsune Guji, right?
Didn't you feel dizzy while reading on the ship?
I actually feel really dizzy when I played video games on an airplane for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't feel dizzy playing video games when sitting in a house, but when I'm on an airplane I do. Maybe it's because it's like moving up and down. I don't know. Or maybe it's like the position I'm holding the console, like the Nintendo Switch that I had with me.
It was nothing I couldn't handle. Don't forget, I'm proficient in the arts of the Guhua clan. That being said, there were quite a few people aboard who felt seasick.
Or did they, eh?
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything suspicious about what he said so far.
Talk about his thoughts regarding the journey.
Well, I've never embarked on such a long journey before. Though I was quite excited when we set off, the long days at sea quickly became most monotonous.
Speaking of the journey, did anything noteworthy happen along the way?
Well, to be honest, I spent most of the trip with my nose in a novel.
Well, that didn't tell us much.
Gosh darn it. Talk about the scenery on the journey.
To be honest, there wasn't much to see. Just water all around, morning to night. The sheer monotony of the trip caused everyone to grow a little impatient.
Was there any storms, perchance?
So, when the peak of Mount Yogo finally appeared in the distance as we approached the islands of Inazuma, everyone crowded the deck to have a look. However, the ship sailed along at a crawling pace. It took a whole day from the time we saw the mountain peak to the time we docked.
Paimon didn't catch anything suspicious so far.
No, there was something really suspicious. Dun dun dun.
Right! If it took an entire day to reach the docks, then it would have been pouring rain at the time they saw the top of the mountain.
Dun dun
We
dun.
learned a couple of things from his account, but we still require more evidence. Let's discuss creating novels with Xingqiu.
Xingqiu's like, well, what are you guys talking about over there? Why are you suddenly talking to each other like that and whispering? Or are you? You guys are really suspicious. Talk about Albedo's illustrations.
Speaking of illustrations, Albedo, I've long wished to express my sincerest gratitude for providing the illustrations in my novel. My novel didn't sell well in Liyue, so I must admit that I had some reservations regarding its potential. Yet you've consistently managed to select the most important scene of the chapter for your illustrations. This made me feel as though what I was trying to express could be understood after all.
Thank you. However, I took some risks in the illustrations, so I'm feeling slightly uneasy myself.
Risks, you say?
Light novel illustrations are typically centered around the characters, but this time, I adopted a different approach in the illustration for the last chapter.
Well, that scene was intended to depict the change in the world, so I thought it very fitting to draw only scenery.
Oh, you've seen the most recent illustrations already, have you?
Doesn't sound like anything suspicious has come
What are you
up
talking
so
about,
far.
Paimon?
No, there was a crack in his alibi. My illustrations were sent for printing the moment they arrived in Inazuma. So, logically speaking, there's no way he could possibly know what the illustrations look like.
Unless he has a special lens of truth of some kind. I don't know. Maybe the internet. Maybe he has the internet and he just looked it up. Where's your smartphone?
Xingqiu, we have something very important to ask you now.
Oh? Why the solemn looks all of a sudden?
Xingqiu, what's with this facade?
Huh?
What are you hiding?
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Mr. Okazaki told us earlier that actually the weather at sea was very bad these last few days. So when you said that everyone came running to the deck to see Mount Yogo, that couldn't have happened.
Take the hat.
On top of that, the latest installment of A Legend of Sword will only be revealed at the Irodori Festival. Even we, the creators, haven't received a sample copy. If that's the case, how could you know what my illustrations look like?
Take the hat.
Well,
The jig's up, Xingqiu. You were already in Inazuma before today, weren't you? Are you in some kind of danger but can't tell us the truth? Don't worry. The Traveler and Albedo are no pushovers. We can help you.
no, please. You misunderstand me. I suppose my lack of sleep is inevitably taking its toll on my mind. I didn't notice for a moment that you were testing me at all.
Haha. And we thought you were smart, Xingqiu.
I did in fact come to Inazuma early to handle some things. Let me consider how to explain this. Oh, this is most embarrassing.
Oh, well, if this isn't a coincidence, I didn't expect to see everyone here.
It's Venti! Yay!
Huh? Tone Deaf Bard, what are you doing here?
I heard that the owner of this establishment has some fine-aged wines. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to taste them.
Venti, we're in the middle of something here. Stop bothering us.
Paimon knew you couldn't possibly be up to anything good.
Says who? In fact, I come as the bearer of good tidings. I just bumped into Kujo Sara a moment ago. She said that the Tenryou Commission has apprehended the criminal who stole all those copies of A Legend of Sword. You needn't worry about it any longer.
Noise.
Huh? The criminal who stole A Legend of Sword?
Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Oh no. The person they apprehended. Was it by chance an editor named Onodera?
Apologies, Kujo Sara didn't mention a name. But I saw her taking someone toward Hanamizaka.
Everyone, it's too late to explain. We must make haste and rescue Onodera.
Maybe there was like something in the story that Xingqiu wanted to edit out real quick. Maybe he made like a really bad cultural faux pas in the story that he wanted to edit out. Like he called someone the C word, and apparently the C word is not very taken lightly here in Inazuma. We must save the editor, Onodera. Wee you.
Please, wait. Onodera is innocent.
It's all a misunderstanding.
Oh, so you must be the author of A Legend of Sword. I didn't expect to see others tagging along with you.
Anyway, you mustn't take him away. I can explain everything.
Yes, do explain.
No need to worry, Xingqiu. I've just explained everything to Madame Kujo, and Kuroda has testified for me.
Yes. In fact, we were just getting ready to leave.
Oh, phew. What a relief. Wait a minute. Does everyone else here already know?
We don't. Please tell us.
Well, to be precise, we had dispatched 2 additional squads here, in order to prevent the suspect from escaping.
Xingqiu looks pretty flustered. What exactly is going on here?
I bet it has something to do with his signature.
Though it's most embarrassing, it appears quite a few people are aware of the situation now. There's no use keeping it a secret. In the end, I'm the one responsible for this whole predicament.
No, Xingqiu. It's only appropriate that I take responsibility for this. Everyone, please let me explain. For the Irodori Festival, I recommended the idea of selling newly released novels signed by the authors.
Okay.
Not only was this the first major project I was in charge of since joining the Yae publishing house, but Lady Yae also gave me a lot of support. However, I did not discuss our plans with the authors in advance. As a result, it caused a great deal of trouble for Xingqiu.
Yes, to be frank, calligraphy is not my strong point, so signing events are really not my forte.
Wait, was it previously established that Xingqiu is bad at writing?
Even though such an event will be difficult for Xingqiu, after telling him how important the plans were to me, he immediately boarded a ship to Inazuma to come up with a solution.
Is he gonna stamp all of them?
So these past few days, Xingqiu has been actively practicing his handwriting. However, it takes time to sign each book, and we realized the time we reserved for the signing was not nearly enough. So I came up with the idea of moving the new books from the warehouse to my place. That way, Xingqiu could use these few days to sign them all.
Wait, why didn't you tell the other people that you were moving the things? Then this all would have not been an issue.
I thought everything would work out without a hitch. I never expected that someone would immediately realize that the books were missing from the warehouse.
Of course people would notice. People are organizing this thing, right? Of course they'll keep track of and organize as much of it as possible.
To make things worse, I was on vacation and staying with Xingqiu in my house these past few days. I had no idea that the situation had turned into such a huge mess. All of this happened because I wanted to prove myself through this event.
Onodera, I agreed to your proposal because I didn't want the readers to know of my unsightly handwriting.
I don't remember if it was previously established that his handwriting is really bad. Maybe it was and I just don't remember?
Also, I knew that Onodera had been misled by one of my prior signatures. At a previous event, the Yai Publishing House had requested autographs of authors so that they could be put on display. I practiced tirelessly for an entire day to finally deliver a stylish and elegant signature for the event. But looking back on it now, I had dug myself into a hole by delivering that nice signature for the sake of my pride.
Oh, that's why those two at the Uyu restaurant says that he has really good signature, because he like specifically made one for it, and it's not his actual like normal writing.
Hey, come on, you two. Loosen up a little. The theft was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding. Besides, everyone has something they do not wish others to see.
Yeah, that's right. All that matters is that Xingqiu and his books are okay.
Onodera, I think you should explain the truth regarding the stolen books to the rest of the people on Rito.
Yes, I understand. I'll apologize to everyone.
We should probably be heading back to Rito as well. Let's tag along.
It sounds good, Paimon. Ring! Go to the Outlanders Affair Agency. Has this changed at all? Go with Onodera, Xingqiu, and the others to the Outlander Affairs Agency to explain the truth. Okay. We're already like 50 minutes in. Hopefully this thing is gonna end soon. I think the last story was like an hour and a half or something like that, maybe even more than that. But that's because I was like going around talking to all these random people, right? I guess I did start this video talking to like that cosplay lady.
Onodera, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be on leave these few days?
We have something to explain. Onodera explains the situations to the editors.
I'm very sorry for all the trouble that I've caused.
Yes, Onodera, but...
No buts.
Why didn't you tell everyone earlier? If you had told us, we could have thought of some ways to help you.
That's exactly what I thought when we were told not to tell Xingqiu that his books were taken.
That's right. We're a team, and we should be helping each other in tough situations like this.
Let's leave the past behind us now. Our first priority is to help Xingqiu with his signatures. How is your progress so far?
My progress is not what I had hoped for. Even after working through the night these past few days, I've only finished perhaps 1/10 of the signatures.
Oh, no wonder Xingqiu looked so sleepy today.
Ha, got him.
I understand. Murata, go back to the Yai Publishing House and get Aratani to book a room on the second floor of the Uyu restaurant. We'll be using it for Xingqiu's emergency calligraphy lessons.
Yes, Mr. Hirayama. It just so happens that my brother is a calligrapher. Should I ask him to lend his assistance as well?
Yes, good idea. Ah, you've just reminded me. 2 calligraphers from Liyue arrived today. We've worked with them before, so I'll go and ask them to help out too.
Oh, wow.
It seems I'm really in for it now.
No need to worry, Xingqiu. I'm sure you can do it. Didn't you finish the last chapter of your novel in just 1 week's time?
Yes, but writing novels and learning calligraphy are 2 entirely different skills.
Pretend you're holding a sword. Apparently, what was it, like Musashi Miyamoto? Like that samurai guy who wrote Book of Five Rings? He says, like, in order to master the sword, you have to, like, be knowledgeable in, like, a variety of skills, which includes, like, painting and calligraphy and poetry and stuff like that. So yeah, just try and use what relay what you've learned with the Guhua style sword fighting techniques into your calligraphy techniques. Think of each brushstroke as a slash or something. I don't know.
Even though Xingqiu still has to deal with his handwriting issue, Paimon somehow feels a little relieved now.
I always used to prefer working alone in my workshop, but I've come to realize that solving problems with others also has its merits.
We also owe a special ode of gratitude to the mysterious person who has been leaving important info for us along the way.
Well, I wonder who it could be.
Huh? You mean whoever left behind those stories about the 5 Kasen?
Pardon me, but what are you talking about?
Oh, right. We haven't had a chance to explain things to Xingqiu
We've had our own deceptions this entire time too, Xingqiu. You explain all that has happened in the past few days.
I see. It appears that Onodera and I were spotted when we were moving the books. Albedo, may I ask you one thing? Are you able to include me in a portrait as well? Not only do I owe the successful resolution of today's incident to that story, but I also hope that I'll remember this lesson.
No problem. Considering the similarities between the portraits and the events that have taken place, your proposal is very reasonable.
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion, Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of this individual's true intentions. All he knew was that the poem had to do with an old acquaintance, Akahito.
Akahito is the red samurai person, right? Or red martial artist? Swordsman?
Albedo really is something. He finished the portrait of Aoi no Okina in no time at all.
He, kind of evened out the haircut. Whereas Xingqiu's haircut's, like, very unbalanced on each side.
Wonder how Xingqiu's calligraphy training is going at Uyu Restaurant. Hey, do you think whoever left those stories for us could be hiding somewhere nearby?
Oh, I wonder who it is. Can we see the person in this shot right now? Is it those two right there and behind? Slowly or sneakily eavesdropping?
Oh, hello? Mr. Storywriter? Are you here? Could you please help Xingqiu with something?
Could it be, like, Yai Miko who's doing it? I don't know. I don't know who would be a mysterious enough figure who would be guiding everyone to these conclusions.
He's a friend of ours, and the release of his new book is super important to him.
It's a cat?
Oh, what's that sound?
Is it Sayu? Is it Diona?
It was just a cat. Looks like we can't make them reveal themselves that easily. It's getting late now. But let's go back and get some rest. We still have to go to the docks and wait for another ship tomorrow morning.
Oh, do we get a hint as to who it is? Whose pants are those? Is it just a generic NPC? Or is this going to be a new character? Or is it a character that... I don't recognize these pants. Is it the Kuro whatever dude? What the blue flowers have left behind. Quest complete. Ring! Oh, I unlocked Theater Mechanicus apparently. Do I get to see those like cutscenes again? So yeah, since I'm doing this late, all this is like unlocking sequentially. So that's a good thing and also a bad thing because if I just play the game now on its own, I might miss the Paimon saying, "Oh, it's time to go to the docks and receive the next guest." So I'll probably, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Maybe right after this, I'll start recording that one too. And just like try and do as much as I can. So yeah, this has been pretty interesting. I totally was not expecting to be able to guess that Xingqiu sabotaged himself, but maybe the story originally was giving enough hints anyway that I was able to guess that. And I just didn't realize since it was like a shower thought. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I will be continuing the story in the next one. Hope to see you there. And subscribe for more, and goodbye!
Lightning